I am two students, final exam part 2. So this is going to be 30 questions, 21 are multiple choice, 9 are written response. We're focusing on polynomials, so add, subtract, multiply, and factor. It is open notes, but again, please complete your own work. No phone or text a friend, please. Respect, responsibility, integrity, and engagement. Remember those. So I'd like you to use some scratch paper to do your work on, and I want you to keep it until June 8th. So I'll be looking pretty closely at these. If I see some inconsistencies with your work, I may be calling on you to either show me your work, your proof of work. I may also be asking you questions about how you got to those answers, okay? So I'm not going to need it from everybody, so I want you to keep it. So keep it until June 8th. If you don't hear from me by June 8th, you can throw it away. It's all good. All right, again, this is supposed to be a celebration of what you have learned this quarter. I expect all my students that have been keeping up with the distance learning program to do a great job here. And again, if you're a little rusty on something, you go back to your notes on the polynomial section. Question 1. Rewrite this polynomial in standard form. I want you to use that caret symbol to show the exponents, which is the shift 6 on your keyboard. So example will be 52x to the 4th power. I have 52x and then the caret after the x to show you that's an exponent. Okay, so rewrite this for me in standard form. All right, how many terms are in this polynomial? So it's -7 plus 52x to the 4th plus 17x to the 5th minus 13x. You just rewrote this same one in standard form. How many terms does it have? All right, same polynomial for question number 3. This time I'm asking you, what is the degree for this polynomial? All right, question 4. What is the lead coefficient for this polynomial? Question 5. Write the polynomial in standard form, then name the polynomial based on its degree and the number of terms. So let me read the polynomial for you. It's 4 minus 1x squared minus 2x plus 5x squared. I want you to rewrite that in standard form. Don't forget to combine like terms. And then quadratic versus a cubic. I think we went over that only lightly, so I'm going to give you a little hint here. If it's the highest degree is 2, it's quadratic. If the highest degree is 3, it's going to be a cubic. All right, I want you to add these two polynomials. Again, you should write this down in your paper, remove the parentheses, and add them. So 3x squared minus 4x plus 8 plus negative x squared minus 2x minus 8. Again, do the work on your paper, then select the correct answer. Question 7, subtraction. So 6x minus 3 minus 11x minus 8. You got to be careful here. I want you to remove the parentheses. Do you recall how to do that? If you don't, go back to your notes. Okay, again, show all your work. Question 8, we're subtracting a trinomial from a trinomial. So 3x minus 7x squared plus 2 minus 4x squared minus 5 plus 6x. Just be careful, remove the parentheses, what happens when you do that, and be careful with your like terms. Question number 9, this is beautiful. Simplify. X minus 3y minus 2x plus 4 plus x plus 2y. So I'm going to recommend that you rewrite that without the parentheses first, then go ahead and combine like terms. Sorry, I just noticed my mugshot was blocking D. D is a negative y minus 4. Question 10, error analysis. So it says explain the mistake or mistakes a student made in this problem. Then write the correct answer. So I want an explanation from you. What was the mistake or mistakes? And then I want you to actually find the correct answer. Question 11, another error analysis, this time with subtraction. So explain the mistake or mistakes a student made in this problem, then write the correct answer for me. Again, don't forget you use the little caret for your exponents. That is the control and the button, control 6 or shift 6, I should say. Shift 6. Question 12, multiply or expand this polynomial. So I want you to rewrite it basically in standard form. do the work on your paper, then select the A, B, C, or D. Question 13, we have a binomial times a binomial. Do you remember how to do these? If not, go back to your notes. Taught you a couple ways how you can do this. So I want you to multiply these and write in standard form. And what do you get? Question 14, another expand, multiply binomial. So j plus 7 times j minus 7. Be careful when you combine like terms on this one. This is my hint. 15, simplify. This is a sweet problem. So you have 3x, parentheses, x squared minus 2x, minus x, parentheses, 3 minus x. So this one you're going to have to do some, you need to remove the parentheses. How do you do that? And then you're going to have to make sure you're combining like terms. Let me get the my face here. So d is 3x cubed minus 5x squared minus 3. All right, question 16 is a classic. Expand this polynomial and explain your process in detail. Okay, so I'm asking you, what does the 2x plus 3 squared really mean? When you expand it, you're just multiplying it out. So what do you get when you do that? Question 17, factor using GCF, greatest common factor. So if 3x is one of the factors of 3x squared minus 9x, so your original polynomial is 3x squared minus 9x, and you're pulling out the 3x, that's your GCF. What's the other factor? Okay, so they basically gave you the GCF, just write it in factored form, you'll have your answer here. All right, question 18, again, factor using greatest common factor. You just gotta be very careful here because we're dealing with numbers and the variable x and the variable y. You gotta find the GCF for all three parts and then make sure it multiplies out correctly to give you back to the original. Question 19, factor, then state which one of the choices below is one of the factors. So this is multiple choice style for factoring. We're not going to give you both factors here because then you can just multiply it and work it backwards. Okay, so I want to make sure you can factor. So you're going to factor this on your paper. You get your two factors or three factors sometimes if you have to pull out GCF as well. And then has to be one of them. It has to be either x minus 3 or x plus 3 or x plus 15 or x minus 5. It's be one of those factors. Question 20, factor then state which one of the choices below is one of the factors. So again, same idea. You're going to factor x squared plus 5x minus 24, and you'll get your factors, and then one of these has to be with the factors. Okay, I'm not giving you both, so you can't work it backwards and just multiply your factors to see which one gets you the answer. Okay, so factor. All right, factor. X squared plus 46x plus 45. That's not going to be too bad. Looks like it's scary, but it's not that bad at all. So factor that one, and which one of these is one of the factors? Question 22, factor x squared minus 3x minus 40. After you factor it, one of these should be one of the factors of the two that you have. All right, number 23, Michael Jordan. So one of the factors of 4x squared minus 64x plus 192. All those numbers are even. I'm thinking there might be a GCF you can pull out first. So make sure you pull out the GCF first, and then you have to refactor the trinomial after that. There's your hint, big hint. Question 24. Ooh, this one's a beast. So you're going to factor 25x squared minus 65x plus 12. I don't think there's going to be a GCF on this one, but this is going to be definitely a diamond plus a generic rectangle for you. And you're going to be dealing with some big numbers, but pull out your calculator. You should be able to handle this. Again, this is just one of the factors, not both of them, or three of them, whatever the situation is. Question 25 is beautiful. So it says, what is the common factor of x squared minus 9 and x squared plus x minus 6? So what I'm asking you to do is I want you to factor x squared minus 9, and I want you to factor x squared plus x minus 6. And when you factor both those, there should be a common factor between those two. All right, and that's what the answer is going to be. All right, for question 26 through 30, these are all going to be, you're going to do the factoring and give me the answer. Okay, so again, if you have a x squared, you use a caret, but most of those we're not going to have that because we're factoring here. So I want you to factor this. Your hint is whenever you factor, you should always be looking for GCF first. Okay, so factor 26, which is x squared plus 8x. Question 27, I want you to factor x squared plus 3x minus 10. Remember, these are all expressions. They're just polynomials. So when we factor them, I just want the factors. If I see anyone solving, right, doing zero product property, that is a biggie mistake. Shouldn't be doing that, right? It's just factoring. Question 28, I'd like you to factor 6x squared minus 19x minus 7. Again, you have a little bit bigger numbers here, but I think you can handle it. So factor that completely. Question 29, factor completely 50x squared minus 8. I'll give you a little bit of a hint here. You're going to need to do two things. You need to do two things on this one. It's not going to be a one-step factoring. Question 30, yay, our last question. So now I want you to factor completely 20x squared plus 100x plus 125. So again, I'm guessing, I haven't done this myself yet, but I'm guessing this is going to be, you pull out a GCF, I see a GCF, and then you got to look to see, can you refactor the trinomial? If you can, then you got to factor that as well. All right. Make sure you write out your answers with all the factors. Okay, don't forget that. All right, tomorrow, part 3 is solving algebraic equations. So the first part is going to be solving absolute value equations, right? That's from basically Module 3, Topic 1, I think the lessons were around week 2 of the course for Q4. And then what we've been doing the past couple weeks, week 7, week 8, solving quadratic equations. So I want you to be able to solve them by the square root method, right? I want you to be able to solve by factoring with ZPP, factoring in zero product property, right? And I want you to be able to solve by the quadratic formula. Okay, those are the 3 key ways I want you to be able to solve the equations. And I'm going to ask that you solve by that way. And most likely, I don't think I'm going to set up tomorrow's part of the test with Edpuzzle because I want to see all your work. So it's most likely going to be in Pear Deck. All right, so you'll be showing me all the work and details. Again, I don't want just answers. If I just see answers, you're not going to get your points. All right, hope you did well on this, and one more day to go.